in today's rant, I like the dark. That's not the rant. I like the dark. So, we're going to keep this vibe. Plus, on top of that, this is like me after work. So, why not give you, after work energy? For doing photography for the amount of years I've done it, there's always this conundrum, issue, dilemma, problematic between model and photographer. And I want to clear this air out, at least to my best abilities from my own personal knowledge. I'm not sure what amount of research I could have done for this information. This is my own experiences. This is things that I have seen others go through. So take this information with a grain of salt. Don't take this information as, like, oh my God, like I done like so much research. Like I tried to look this up and I couldn't fully find a proper information on said things. So we're going to give this an attempt and we can have a talk about it, discussion about it in the comment section below if you feel like I'm wrong or I'm right. So this is going to be for those that are models, looking to be models, or photographers, or people that are looking to be photographers and that like to shoot models. So I'm going to start off on the model side of the entire thing here. The model side. As a model, you're working on your figure, your intake, your health, your personality, whatever you display on social media that characterizes you and your persona. Now, with that being said, if you're taking it as a serious thing, yeah, you have to portray a certain type of character. It can still be you, and not saying, it shouldn't be you. What I'm saying is once you put something out there and you have done that ideal space for a long time, to switch over is a process. It's not doable, but it's a process. You can't just go from I'm this bubbly chick to an emo person that's all of a sudden sad and depressed unless you start off that way where you're, constantly flipping back and forth in between one phase or the other. That works. But if you are one thing, you've been that way for X amount of time now, it's like you can't just all of a sudden drop, whatever, on, your social media pages, because as an audience, super fans, and people that really don't know you that well but are about to get to know you, they're like, what the hell? Or what the heck? Apologize for the itch. My back itchy for some reason. I don't know why. All of a sudden, it's just like, all right, itchy. So, with that being said, as a model, you're always looked at as what you are. Meaning that if, let's say, I'm modeling, and let's say my persona is this motivational, rough type energy type of guy, like, yeah, I can be clean, I can show hard work, but let's just say hypothetically for the jokes of this situation, you're not gonna see me in the tutu. just not it. Not for the type of personality that I'm going for or would be going for as a model. You want to see me in that behavior, that mindset, and this goes for a man or a woman when it comes to that mentality. Now, when photographers approach me, or if I approach photographers, I would have to shoot with that mindset because that is who I am, or that's what I am representing when I post myself online, as what we should all be discussing is a personal brand. So minus big brands looking at so-and-so, at the end of the day, if you can't brand yourself as a model, and technically speaking, as a photographer, you have no room on the table to be discussing or wanting to discuss stuff with other brands. Kind of point blank, period. So, I say all that to say, as a model, this is what you need to be aware of when it comes to, how you present yourself. Some people have it easy because they already have, they're born or they're naturally gifted such looks, I would say, which all they have to do now is just fit into that character, and then if they fit into the character that pleases them, then they're solid. Some people need time to develop that character in the sense of, depending on what they're shooting for, not shooting for, but what they're aiming for by obviously shooting, aiming, as in goal. What are you aiming for? What are you trying to accomplish? If you're going for Nike, does Nike support somebody that looks like you? If not, maybe you should try somewhere else. If you're really trying to fixate on rebranding Nike's image, I'm not say it's not doable, because there's a chance it's doable. You're just gonna be one of very few. that's fighting even harder battle, especially if you're just going straight towards Nike or a big company like Adidas or Puma, etc., versus starting small. But that's a whole different topic for a different day. This is a rant now. So I say all that to say what I'm about to tell you guys or discuss with you guys is going to be a topic particularly of what this dilemma between model and photographer that I seen tend to be, especially for those models that don't really have that mindset to be business, more so I just want photos and eventually I'll just get somewhere. Trust me, as somebody that has done that in the realm of dancing, it doesn't play out to the way you would like it to play out unless for sure you have those type of looks. And not saying that you do not have those type of looks. I'm also going be considerate of taking an account to have some type of formulated plan so it makes you even look stronger than just going off a whim. Photographers, our goal is to capture beauty however we see it for the surrounding other than ourselves, however we see it for the person that's in front of us. Our goal is to capture that beauty however it may be, whether it's magnified or it is in the same format as it's shown in real life. With that being said, when we shoot models, there are centerpieces. Everything else around them is to enhance said beauty, whether it's a regular solid backdrop, whether it's their outfit, whether it's their design, whether from tattoos or makeup or body paint, whether it be buildings, whether it be graffiti, whether it be a luxurious spot, whether it be a mechanical area, whether it be a junkyard, up and down the scale, whatever. Our goal is to enhance that beauty. Make it captivating, make it tell a story, make it do all these different things to make one try to understand what your meaning was when doing this shot. By utilizing various skills of photo editing and learning your camera and then learning what makes an image more appealing to one's eye. That is our job. So now that we have discussed the model's job and now we have discussed the photographer's job, why in the beginning stages per se is there conflict? The photographers feel as though they should get paid because of this vast knowledge that we have between software, between buying this extra couple $1,000 camera, to either renting a space, buying a space, utilizing space, gas, to paying, I'm going back to software, but paying $50 a month, whatever, for Photoshop, whatever, programming, time and energy taken away, hours, depending on how many shoots and how you edit and design it. And then for a model's case, it's like they took the time out to do hair, makeup, making sure over the months and days their body was, made in case of situations like this to occur. So trading values, one can say, well, there's a higher value in photography because they have to know what they're doing with said model when doing said shoot. Then one can say as a model, if they can't keep their appearance, none of this would even be possible. So I'm here to tell you guys, both sides are right in their rightful perspectives. Here's my caveat, or here's my thing. Whom asks whom is the one that needs to pay for said person. And I say that because you specifically ask for that person. If you, and not have to pay, I shouldn't say have to pay, because it's more so an agreement between you and whomever you're talking to. Having that mindset of you may have to pay should always be there no matter whom you ask. And feel free to ask. You never know. It might be free. Might be some caveats. A photographer that asks a model to do a photo shoot, chances are, if you do happen to accept it, understand that you're accepting the use of whatever image that he produces to be put out into whatever, however they see fit, which is, at least from my understanding, why model release forms are there to obviously release the photos that the model was taken in to be used for whatever reason, hence why a model should be getting paid. If it's not getting used for whatever reason, but it's used for, particularly in my case, social media, whether it's a website, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc., and no magazine submissions or nothing to that degree unless discussed otherwise with that model, whether it be verbal or written contract, then in a sense, a model release form, in my personal opinion, and again, we can have a discussion about this, wouldn't need to be necessary because you're not doing anything with this unless you plan on to in the future, which then you could have such. And vice versa. Technically speaking, this should be a photography release form where the photographer signs whatever contract and the model can use said photos however they want to in discretion. Because ideally, that's what's supposed to be happening. Ideally, we photographers run into issues where you as a model or you as a client per se will utilize said images for whatever reasons that even though yes you're in it, majority of credit goes into photographer because they have to put in the work to make that particular image happen. If this was not the case, then one could say just use your phone or have your friend or family member take the photo of you. Again, you ask for my services, whether it's model or photographer, particularly because you like such style, meaning that style came with time and it came with skill to get to that point. Therefore, some type of compensation needs to be had, whether it is release of the photos or payment. Or again, depending on what you discuss and how you like to have a proper trade-off, or trade for print, or trade for digital. I don't know how I guess you would want to put that into proper words, but yeah. I see this dilemma and I'm going, depending on one's goal, each is valid in their own right. But just because you ask, you can't expect it to be free. You should expect it to have some conversation for them, especially if you're going to use it for other reasons to potentially make yourself money. So if you're going to establish a relationship with a photographer or you're going to establish a relationship with a model, I suggest definitely talk it out. See what goals align with each other. Maybe y'all can utilize each other for the future, not just a 1 off, 2 off, 3 off, or 10 off. I know it's good numbers. Deal with it. So when it comes to a value, when it comes to A-Right, when it comes to value between model and photographer, realistically, I'm gonna be 100% honest, and I'm sure a lot of people are not gonna like this. The photographer has more value than a model does. A model can equal a photographer's value, but between knowledge, color, grading, palette, understanding of surrounding, different lenses, wide, telephoto, prime, zoom, glass, and yes, a model can understand those things too, and on one end to enhance her understanding of modeling, which that should be the case, or should be. That would be a nice thing to have. That's not it's not a needed situation. It's not a need, but it would be great to understand. So you understand, one's pain per se. I'm also not discrediting a model by saying photographer has more. Models definitely have high value. Again, it depends on what the aim is. In a general sense, a photographer can do whatever they can with whomever person. As a model, you can't necessarily just shoot with anybody, You can't shoot with anybody. But if you have a certain image, you just can't shoot with anybody that doesn't align with your image. As a photographer, one can. Now, they may not post it. They may not use it. It may not be them. They may not like it. Doesn't mean that I don't have the ability to do it. I have the ability to shoot a lot of different things, but you don't see me posting any of those type of things on any of my pages. And I have done a few stuff. I'm like, nah, I'm good. It turned out nice, but I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I ain't posting it. It don't need to be on my ish. Don't need to. It don't need to. It don't. That one's for a snippet. I'm kidding. Anyway, so at the end of the day, this entire rant per se, or this thing I'm going off into a tangent, yeah, y'all gotta be cool with each other, especially in the beginning stages. Understand that, people want to get paid for one service and one due diligence and one have to work hard for said space. Like I'm still paying for stuff on my personal end when it comes to photography. So yeah, if somebody approaches me to do a shoot with them, I'm gonna look at y'all like, I've done this for a minute now. You're particularly asking for me, knowing there's other photographers. You could pay me, and at the same time, you should be paying them too. This applies for any type of service. Find people that align with your goals. Great personality, not just just align with your goals and oh my god, like it's gonna happen. Like you also have to build chemistry. You also have to be cool with each other. That goes from in the shoot and outside the shoot. You gotta be cool. Y'all don't have to talk outside the shoot, but y'all gotta still be cool. Y'all can't just like I run that a couple times before. It's fun doing the shoot, but then for some reason there's a weird issue in communication. That all that gotta be cool. This is a dance. This ideally is a relationship that needs to be able to be maintained between the two of y'all. With that being said, I am tired. I'm gonna go to sleep right after this and then edit in the morning. And I got some plans for some photos. Woo. Got a plan for this photo. It's gonna be a minute before for me to edit because I can already see the process, but I also see the result of how I'm seeing it. I know it's not gonna be exactly how I envision it, but I can still feel like it's still gonna be dope to get it done. So I'm looking forward to editing this photo. With that being said, I'll see you guys later. Time for me to go out of frame. That might be my thing. Hold on. That might be it. Just saying. That might be it. Time for me to go out of frame, you know? Tell me if you're feeling what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? No? Yeah? Yeah, no? Time for me to go out of frame. Time for me to go ghost. Boy, tell me if we go out of frame. Woo. Oh, no, wait, hold on. Woo. Nope. One more time. One more time, one more time, one more time, one more time. I like this look though. Woo. No. I don't like none of those transitions. How about this? I mean, this ain't bad. Right? I mean, we ain't bad over here. I can see the blades. Alright. Peace.